Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, and as you can see, today's topic is English abbreviations. So before starting, I would like to ask you a couple of questions. Have you ever faced difficulties in making use of abbreviations in your written communications or while speaking to a friend? Or have you ever found difficulty in understanding what an abbreviation or acronym used by your friend meant? Then, if you have answered yes to any of these questions, then you're definitely at the right place. And please watch the video till the end to get a clear understanding of how you can use abbreviations or acronyms in writing communications and making use of short words, easier to understand words. So before moving on, a quick reminder to all those who haven't subscribed yet, and also to the new visitors, please hit on the subscribe button and don't forget to hit on the bell icon right next to the subscribe button, else you wouldn't be getting the notifications for all upcoming videos. Now moving on to today's video. Abbreviations are something that all of us want to use to save time and space, especially in written communications. So what are these abbreviations? These are nothing but shortened or contracted forms of words. So these help you make word sets easier, which are remembered easily and quickly, and also it helps you to speak or say a sentence quite quickly and communicate it in an easier manner. So we shall look at around 20 abbreviations that we commonly use in our daily lives. We'll look at what it actually means, and we'll also understand it through the help of examples. So let's look at the first one. ASAP. So many of us would have used this in our daily communications, and we all know it is something related to doing something fast or getting something done fast. So yes, ASAP or ASAP is something called as soon as possible. So if you're directing somebody to do something or give your report or something of that sort in a quicker manner, or within a certain duration, then you make use of the word ASAP. So for example, we have you should check out the new policies ASAP. So that means you should check out the new policies as soon as possible. So this was the first one. Let's look at the second abbreviation. This is RSVP. This is actually a French expression that you would ideally find in invitations. So this actually means that the person who's inviting you is asking you to send them a response, asking you to let them know whether you'll be attending a particular ceremony or not. So it is ideally useful for a person to receive the RSVP so that he or she knows how many people to expect for a party, so that they can make arrangements accordingly. So if you look at the example here, Katie required invitees to RSVP to her brother's birthday party so that she would know how much food to order. So especially when written in invitations at the end of the invite, you would find RSVP. That means you're requested to kindly respond and let them know whether you will be attending the party or not. So moving on to our third one, we have BTW, used very often. Yes, it means by the way. So BTW is ideally used when we are trying to transition from one subject to another, or like switch from one particular subject to another. So for instance here we have, you can read about this by the way in the tutorial grammar book. So you see there are two aspects here. You're asking the person to read something and maybe find information about it in this particular grammar book. So you're kind of switching from one subject to another. So you make use of BTW here. So it means by the way, you can do something else, or you can do that particular thing here. Next is DIY, quite a trending thing, and you might have found several videos on DIY stuff on the internet. So what is this DIY? It actually means do it yourself. So it is something that a person does himself or herself rather than employing a professional do it. So you could do DIY something, you can create something on your own rather than making use of a professional service. So for example here, we have learn how to create DIY lamps. So in this case, a person is creating lamps by himself or herself. So it's DIY, done by that person. So it's do it yourself. So do it yourself as in create the lamps yourself. Next, we shall look at ETA. So you might have found this ETA term quite often in, say, if you make use of apps and you've ordered food or you have ordered a particular product, service, and you would find ETA as in the estimated time of arrival. Say you can be 1 day or say 2 minutes or 10 minutes. So that is the estimated time of arrival of that particular product or the service. So if you have ordered food and it is like showing 2 minutes, so ETA is 2 minutes, that is within those 2 minutes you're going to have the food delivered. So for example, we accept your proposed ETA. So this means that the speaker has proposed, say, a particular time, and the reader or the person who is reading this or is listening to this is accepting the proposed estimated time of arrival. Next is FAQ, commonly seen in manuals, user guides, technical documentations. FAQs are nothing but frequently asked questions. These are lists, questions and answers on a particular topic. So if there is a device or a particular service that requires a commonly listed tips or tricks, or users might find difficulty in certain aspects, so these things are explained in a prior manner. So you have FAQs where you have these questions and you have the answers to those questions that users can readily read whenever they face a difficulty related to that particular topic. So FAQs are nothing but usually lists in the form of a page where you get the question answer format and a user can readily read it and find solutions to all their queries. So for example, it offers a detailed FAQ page to provide improved explanations. So FAQ pages are ideally something that gives information or explains a certain difficulty that the user faces. Next is OCD, a very frequently used term these days, but you might not know the full form of it. Well, it means obsessive compulsive disorder. Well, let's not go medically into what this actually means or how severe this can be, but in the casual form of communication, we do tend to use OCD when a particular person shows certain characteristics of doing something over and over again without actually having the need to do it. Say a person has you say so and so has OCD about cleanliness, that is, this person cannot stand dust anywhere. So the person, the moment he observes dust at a particular place, he goes over and tries to clean it up right at that moment. So he has this OCD for cleanliness, although the task of cleaning it could have been delayed, but due to the OCD, the person tries to do it immediately and repeatedly. So for example, here we have John has a mild case of OCD with respect to cleanliness. So the OCD thing is kind of becoming quite a casual thing, but also this has a medicinal aspect as well. Let's not go into that, but OCD is kind of in casual communications trying to communicate that this person is obsessed with doing something that is not definitely required to be done repeatedly. Okay, so the next one is EOD, end of the day, extremely useful and highly used in email communications, especially business communications. So EOD is something, end of the day is when you're trying to tell somebody that you need something to be done by that end of the day. So for example, here I won the report by EOD. So here your boss might want you to submit the report by EOD of that day. So you say that the report has to be submitted by end of the day or EOD. Our next one is BRB, extremely common on online chat groups or these online messengers. You say BRB is nothing but be right back. So it is ideally used by a person to politely express that he or she wants to take a break from the keyboard or will be away from the keyboard for a while. So the person at the receiving end would know that this particular chat group person will not be available for say a few seconds or for a couple of minutes. So it's basically just written as it is, BRB, and the reader would obviously understand that the person who has written it will be away from the keyboard for some time. Our next one is AKA, is also known as. You widely see these in research papers or sometimes in newspapers, and you get to see that a particular person is known by another name, so he or she is also known as. So this is where you use aka. So a service coordinator aka institutional manager may want to pass the order. So in this case, the service coordinator is also known as the institutional manager, and therefore we also use here also known as. And next one is IMO. So this means in my opinion. So here it is something like when you want to express your views, or you want to make it quite clear, and you want to place emphasis that whatever you're stating is completely your opinion. So it is always good to insert IMO in the sentence. So here, for example, this manifests IMO a stranger fiction. So here you're trying to place emphasis that manifesting a stranger fiction is completely your opinion. So when you want to place emphasis on that and make it clear that whatever you're stating is your opinion, you can always insert IMO. Next we have IDK. You might have quite often seen this, and it's specifically used to shorten the sentence. IDK idly means I don't know. So IDK, how this should be done, or you would read it as I don't know how this should be done. So it's idly a short form used for your SMS or chat communication, and IDK definitely is like other person would know that this person is trying to say I don't know. Next, TTYL, talk to you later. Again used for these online chat groups, your messengers, and TTYL would certainly mean that you're trying to communicate that you may be busy or you need to address something else at the moment and you cannot continue the conversation, and so you wish to take a break and tell them that you would talk to them later. So TTYL. So for example, here we have no worries, TTYL, that is talk to you later. And next one is TMI, or too much information. So this is idly referring to something of unpleasant nature, some form of unpleasant information has been shared. So say a person has told you something that is not too good to hear or unpleasant in some way, you can tell the person that TMI, I didn't want to hear this, or you shouldn't have told me this. So TMI means too much information, but it is mostly referring to something that is not too pleasant to hear. So you would say it as TMI, why would you tell me that, or why do you want to tell me that, because I'm not interested to know, or it is too bad to hear or unpleasant to hear. So that is where you make use of the term TMI. Next we have SOS, save our souls. So this is ideally a distress call or something that you make use of when you're asking out for help. So whenever you see SOS, it's ideally trying to communicate a sort of help call, or you're trying to tell somebody that you need help. So for example, the school hit by 6 feet of water sends SOS via social messaging. So here the school is in some form of distress and sends out SOS indicating that they urgently need help. Next we have POV. Again, quite like IMO, POV is again the person specific or point of view. So when you want to lay out emphasis that whatever is being said is somebody's point of view and not a collective decision or a collective kind of information, then you specify in the sentence that this is so and so's POV. So for example, we have John's POV. So we say they should be divided into 9 groups. So this aspect is completely John's POV. Next we have P.S. or as otherwise written as PS. So this is something that you write, say, at the end of your body of the letter. So it is postscript. PS stands for postscript, and it is something that is written after the main body of your letter. So say something, your body is talking about a particular important thing that you want to communicate to the reader, and maybe you do not want to add in some form of a greeting or some kind of added information that is not directly related. So in such sentence cases, you can add another sentence called that begins with P.S. Say in this case we have used the example P.S. best wishes to your father. So here the person who is sending out the letter is actually written the letter, that the body of the letter contains certain information, but he wants to send out best wishes to the reader's father, so he adds in a sentence at the end of the letter starting with p.s. But you should know that p.s. ideally should be wrapped up within a sentence or two and not be extended beyond that. Next is TGIF, more of an exclamation, and it means thank God it's Friday. So it's kind of a sign of happiness, a sign of a thing that the work week has ended or it's over, you're done with that week's work. So say for example, it's Friday, like TGIF, like thank God it's Friday and that I wouldn't be working on the next Saturday or the following day. So it's kind of you're exclaiming or you're trying to show your happiness here. So TGIF is thank God it's Friday. Next is etc. So ideally read as etc. etc means that more things follow, that is there are other things to it. So if ideally is when you have a list of things and there are plenty more to be added, but then you cannot continue the sentence and you cannot keep adding those terms, you say list 3 4 and then say etc. That is the reader would understand that the list goes on and there are more things to follow. So for example here, we ordered plenty of fruits today. There are apples, oranges, mangoes, etc. So you're trying to say that apart from these three foods, there are other fruits involved as well. Lastly, we shall look at E.G. or as otherwise known as exempli gratia. It is called for examples. So this is something that is commonly found in all our documents. We do tend to say, for example, this and that. So for example, here, healthy exercises, within brackets, we have example riding a bike or swimming. So healthy exercises will help you live longer, and within the brackets we have mentioned two examples of healthy exercises. Do note we have inserted a comma after the period, so E.G. comma here. So this is how you actually write these sentences. And finally, all of these abbreviations accumulated at one place for you easy access. Hope you found the video useful till now. If you have, please hit the like button, leave a comment if you wish to, and do share it with your friends. And hope you found it useful. We'll see you at the next video. And again, please don't forget to subscribe, hit on the bell icon, and like a video. See you and bye bye. Thank you for watching.